Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. There is a ceasefire in effect. I think it expired at midnight Russian time, Moscow time, not Russian because Russia is big. And it was observed more or less, probably according to the circumstances. In other words, if you are attacked, you're gonna shoot back. I don't know if the orders were followed in their entirety. That means do not attack offensively. I suspect that they did. Sometimes you have to keep the other side at bay, otherwise they could advance and then you find them at your doorstep. Now, in this case, we have some news on the Wagner Group. The Wagner Group is associated, let's put it this way, with the Russian military. It's not the Russian army. They're Russian forces, but not Russian army. It's a private military company, contractor company. And they hire people to fight, which many other companies on this planet do. Now, these guys are called mercenaries, but if the same company would be, let's say, located in Germany and fight in Ukraine, they would be called volunteers, or they will use their name as, you know, military private company, blah blah blah, contractor. They like clean. Nevertheless, it seems like these guys try to conduct some operations during this ceasefire. I think it was 48 hours ceasefire. And the Ukrainians are claiming that they eliminated 24. Now that's 24, because I know that Ukrainians, when they count and they say, hey, I've seen 24 sheep on the field. I didn't see 20. I saw 24. And because I know Ukrainians are using dozens. And because Romanians are using dozens. Hey, there's dozens of guys over there in the field. Meaning 12. Now, for people who know that I'm bullshitting right now, I know exactly what I'm talking about. We don't talk in dozens, or half of dozens, 2 dozens, 3 dozens. There are other kind of cultures and languages that use that. Not us. Neither the Russians nor the Ukrainians. They use tens. All right? But anyway, maybe this is done, the article is just done for the English-speaking audience, so therefore they try to be more inclusive, if you know what I mean. So let's see what's going on here. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda, so this is a Ukrainian media outlet, obviously. It's from Saturday, January 7th, 2022. This is the title. Border guards kill almost 24 Wagner Group mercenaries near Bakhmut over Orthodox Christmas. So 24, almost 24, almost 24, 36 and so on, because that's how we count over there. We don't count by 10 like the Romans, decimals, deche, 10. No, we by 12 because it makes sense to us. Why not by 13? It will make more sense. You can divide it in 2, right? So it's greater. The confusion. The Russian invaders. I'm not making fun of people's cultures. I'm just making fun of this guy using that they don't use. I mean, is there an author? Let's see if it's an author. Valentina Romanenko. Valentina Romanenko is an Ukrainian. Correct. I don't think when she speaks with her friends is 24 people, 24 of cucumbers. No, I think they say 20, 10, and so on. But anyway, that's why I'm making fun. It's just, for me, sounds, come on, drop the shit. So, the Russian invaders have not stopped their attempts to attack Bakhmut in Donetsk Oblast over Orthodox Christmas. And during the so-called quote-unquote ceasefire allegedly announced by Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, they again suffered losses here. Probably divinity loves you more. Is that the conclusion? Information from frontline soldiers from the State Border Guard Services of Ukraine. That's the source. And I'm quoting, border guards from the Luhansk detachment are repulsing assaults from the invaders in Bakhmut on a daily basis. The enemy is sending large forces, but only death awaits them here. Okay, poetry, let's move on. Literature. The attacks have not stopped over Christmas either. The enemy has 18 people who are cargo 200 dead soldiers and another 20 who are cargo 300 wounded soldiers. Details. According to Ukrainska Pravda, sources, the Russian forces lost 18 killed and more than 24 wounded mercenaries from the Wagner private military company on 7th of January. All right. Well, I don't know the details of, obviously, the Ukrainians do not know the details of the order that Putin gave to his soldiers, or the Russian soldiers, but at least it was an attempt to have a ceasefire. Is that a bad thing? It was portrayed by the peace-loving Westerners, some of them, as being treacherous, hypocritical, a lie, and all that. It's like the alternative would have been better or something. Now, obviously, that was not 100%. I know what they wanted. They wanted Russia to drop their weapons and say, okay, now do whatever you want with us or to us, and let's move on. Or you move on and we stay here where you drop us. So that didn't happen. The fact is that the Russians had a, I would say, limited, by normality, limited ceasefire, which I think was a positive thing for the Russians and for the other ones, because that means less destruction and less people killed. The other guys looked at it like being, oh, they need to relax, or they need to regroup, they need to time to breathe and so on. Like they couldn't do it while working, while fighting. But anyway, they can say whatever they want. I didn't expect to be a total front stoppage on a 1,200 miles long front that I think it is, with so many pockets that are, in a dynamic change and operations, that I didn't expect to be a total, oh my God, can you hear the birds? Yes, it's peace and nice. Oh, that's a dove with a freaking thing in his beak. No, it was not like that. But anyway, you act with this. I think it was a good thing. That's my preference to think. I would like to think that way. Because the alternative would have been worse, wouldn't it? I think so. So I think it was not as bad. Regarding killing the mercenaries, I don't think they... they have to probably follow the orders of the commander-in-chief or something, but I don't know how that was an order, or it was a suggestion, or it was a I don't know how that was instituted. And on the other hand, I don't expect the Wagner Group, since they're mercenaries, to listen to anybody. So I don't know what the hullabaloo is. On the other hand, yeah, they're mercenaries because the Ukrainians say so and the Westerners. Who knows? I have no ability to really know what Wagner Group does, or Blackwater does, or the volunteers of Ukraine, and so on. That's a war after all, and I don't think people over there follow too many rules, or any. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.